We have here another geometric probability question. The probability of passing a driving test for a particular person is 75%. We're going to assume that's constant and it doesn't change. They don't get any better, they don't get any worse. And we're asked to find the probability that the person will need under 4 attempts to pass the test. So our variable here, x, will be how many attempts they need to pass. How many attempts needed to pass. And x will follow the geometric distribution because they're going to keep going until they do succeed. And the probability of success is 75%, or 0.75. And we want to know the probability they will take under 4 attempts. So x is less than 4. X is less than 4 means they pass on their first attempt, or, so we'll add, they pass on their second attempt, or, so we'll add the probability they'll pass on their third attempt. Probability they pass on their first attempt is just 0.75. On their second attempt, that is 1 failure, so that's the 1 minus p, and then their success. And over here, passing on their third attempt is their failing, that's 0.25 twice, and then they are passing on the third attempt. So actually we are using here the 1 minus p to the n minus 1 times by p of the geometric formula. So if we work each of those probabilities out, we could just type it in the calculator all in one. 0.75 plus 0.25 times 0.75 plus 0.25 squared times by 0.75. We get an answer of 0.984375. So the probability they'll pass the driving test in under 4 attempts is about 98%. Now, if the question had been slightly different, and if it said, what's the probability they will need under 12 attempts to pass, then what we would be doing here is working out 12 probabilities and adding them all up. The 1, the 2, the 3, the 4 and the 5. Because what we're after now is a probability that x is less than 12. But from what we've seen, doing less than is sometimes harder than doing the other way around. So what's the opposite of less than 12? Opposite of less than 12 is 12 or more. So if I do a 1 minus the probability 12 or more, that's the same as less than 12. 12 is included over here, 12 is not included over there, it's not missed out anywhere. So 1 minus 12 or more is 1 minus, well, the probability of 12. 12 is the first thing in here. 12 will be failing 11 times and then passing. The next value we'd have would be 13, and that would be failing 12 times and then passing. So again, what I'm using here is this is the 1 minus p to the r minus 1 times by p. Same over here, 1 minus p to the r minus 1 times by p. And the next one will be 14 attempts, which will be failing 13 times and then finally succeeding. And this number pattern that we have in here is one of these infinite sums, because actually that's going on forever. So to add up what is inside these curly brackets, the formula we've had before is a over 1 minus r, where a is the first thing we're adding up, so that will be a, and r is what we are timesing this by to get the next one, and what have we times this by to get the next one, and the r value here is the 0.25. So to add up what's in the brackets, it's a, which is that red box there, over 1 minus r. And just like before, that will cancel with that, and I get, for the inside of the bracket, 0.25 to the power of 11. I mustn't forget the 1 minus at the beginning. And if I do that calculation, 1 minus 0.25 to the power of 11. There's my answer. If you can see that, it's a whole lot of nines, quite a lot of nines before anything else. It was 0.9999999761. So very, very high probability that he will take less than 12 attempts on his driving test.